Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the Back Office Teardown Lab. You might know that I recently obtained this Sony Hitbit, but the problem with it, some of the keys spacebar don't work. So I want to have a look inside it and pop the lid and see what I can see. So I've got a bit of bubble wrap here. First things first, that's to protect the front from me wooden barred when I place it down like so. Just having a quick look. There only appears to be 3 screws at the front, so that could be making life a lot easier for us. But they don't work with this screwdriver, surprisingly. So I'm going to have to get quite a fine Phillips screwdriver. Very odd. Usually with these sort of olden day devices, they've got quite coarse screws, but nope, this is a lovely thin screw. So just using a little flathead here, but it's you can see it's a sort of precision micro screwdriver and there's not much torque needed, so very pleasant. Look, that's just one of those little flat precision micro torques. So I did plug this in and it worked, so I was really quite pleased with that. And I don't have any software or anything, so there's a few bits and pieces I'm going to have to sort out before getting to try it. So there, use my little magnet to get out the screws. Again, if you've got something with floppy drives, be a bit wary using magnets. It's just pinching the front here. Just sort of suspect it's got like a sort of hinge mechanism or something on it. So just being a bit ginger with it. But yeah, looks okay. It looks like I can flip this around. Like so. Again, I'm using my technique of not doing any research. That always works out well, of course. Just a wire here off the power supply. In fact, what I'm going to do, I've got my mobile here. I'm going to take a photo of the innards, just so I don't forget where everything was laid out. And I might be able to show that in the video now, so you can have a look as well. See what I can see. So I'm just undoing some, I'll just show you, look, there you go, there's some cables here, I'm just undoing those. Nothing too exciting, so don't feel like you're missing too much. And that's it, the cable is off. Now before we examine that part, I just can't help myself. I have to have a little looky at the board here. So we've got the power supply here, and that looks pretty much how I've seen most of them, and there's a little bit of corrosion, basically rust. It looks like a little bit of rust. Just using the opportunity to brush the board down. But yeah, it just looks like kind of just the usual surface rust. Got a little fuse in there. Nothing that a good clean out won't help really. I think that's the main thing. Just good old clean. Now there is right. Now I'm going to show you something here on this bit, but before I do that, let's have a quick look at the keyboard and then we'll jump back to that. So the keyboard is suspended off the board, and as such it doesn't seem to have too much damage. Again, there is rust in here. Now this is the problem when you store things, you know, in sheds, garage, or loft. And I do have stuff in my loft, and I'm dreading. Sometimes I'm dreading. I'm always scared to go up. I've got Mega Drive up there and a snares and a few bits. And I'm dreading to go see it because I think, oh, will they be knackered? And there's a GameCube as well. But last time I did check, to be honest with you. A little gentle check. I didn't test the stuff, but I could see it wasn't all rusty and crusty. Right, so we got this metal bar here, and these are standoffs to support the back of the keyboard. That's why it's got such a nice feel when you use it. They are screwed in, and this screw here is really rustified. So I'm wondering, we might be able to fix this right here and now without doing too much. So we've got the option, of course, of taking the whole PCB out and giving it the once over, and that's great. But I know it does kind of work, right? So sometimes you've got to decide in life, do you want to, go nuts with it, or do you want to just do the little bit that you think is the easy fix? Use apply Occam's razor, and then see if that's okay, and sort of do it incrementally. Because Sometimes you might try to do this whole lot and you'll come a cropper. So there's a few chips under this big old heatsink thing at the back. And here we have an Oki M38, and then we have a chip here that says HB-75 basic and HB-75 basic. So these are proms. You can see they've got little windows covered over. And which reminds me, I was sent a board actually with some proms and nothing over the windows. I just always wondered if daylight will sort of knacker those out. So we're going to just gently lift. There's a serial number here. 1100885. 1100885. If ever I want to kind of recreate this sticker on the board, because I think it's gonna, yeah, it's gonna die. Put it that way. This sticker will be no more. I'm sure some future collector will be going, who took off that bloody sticker? Don't worry, we'll get a bit of the sort of Dymo laser labeler and print that out. Dymo laser, that would be an interesting departure for them. Right, so here's my PCB cleaner. I've made a hole in the bottom because anyone who uses this brand, I did confirm with it, the Flux Clean, they always say it runs out of propellant before the before it's used up. I think it's a conspiracy by the PCB cleaning agent manufacturers. But here we go, that's giving it a good old job. Looking at it, some of these tracks do look awfully dark. They're kind of almost black, so it looks like moisture's got underneath the actual tracking and gone black. So it's probably moisture sitting in between the silkscreen and the copper. Right, got a bit of the old tissue here. So it's not looking too healthy, but again, it's not looking too damaged. So we'll apply some checks to that. Got the old multimeter out here. First things first, let's just do basic continuity. So I'm going to check basic continuity. So I'm going to start here by this finger to somewhere else where it looks like it goes. So that's good. Even though it's a crusty, musty track, it is going to where it needs to go. And that's the same with this one underneath it. So those two are okay. Yeah, I mean there is continuity between these. They're not massively happy about it, but there is. Then you've got some of these things here, which are quite hard to trace. So I'm just doing a general, see if I can pick it up anywhere. Nope, we're going to have to go digging for that one. So these are quite fine traces, although I think, you know, in reality they look alright. Again, if you really want to test those, you've got to find the other end. So, cool, crikey, cool, blimey. Right, let's go for this resistor. So we're going to change our range down to resistance, and if all these resistors look the same. So its colleague is looking like 180 ohms. Ooh, whereas it's looking decidedly not happy. So that oh crikey, look at that, look what happened. I'll just try to zoom in now. It's a bit awkward, but look at that resistor there. To make some room to really get this all shunted around. But yes, look, that is definitely unhappy. So that's not a happy boy. So let's get that out. We're going to extract it from the top as well. Let me just reconfirm the value. So I've reconfirmed the value. Just going to use one of its colleagues. And it's looking like 180 ohms. So we need to replace that with a 180 ohms. Right, we're going to see what we can do from the top here. So I'm hoping to extract these and then replace them with something suitable. Ooh, misses. So crusty. So really need to just get rid of the shrapnel here. In fact, let's work on the bigger part of the resistor. So weird, isn't it, seeing that sort of just kind of come alive, you know, with rust. but it does look to me like it's something more likely to do memory than keyboard, so this may well just be fixing something we haven't actually encountered, a problem we haven't encountered yet. God, it smells really, really weird. Again, that one is looking very crusty indeed. Come on, little fella. And you can see this whole big motherboard. If I zoom right out, you can see it's a whole big motherboard. So if you want to do this properly, you're going to really have to just get that whole board out. Again, in the interests of time and just kind of experimentation, I'm just going to do this one part. And while we're at it, you can see I've just sort of kind of cleaned up the surface. Again, we're going to put our meter onto continuity. You'll hear it beeping. So that's actually pretty good, that contact there. So although that board looks pretty crusty, it's making a good contact. What we can do, let's get in here. This is Brian Power Crazies donation to the channel. Apologies for the blurriness. Yeah, should be zooming out when I show that. But this is just a kind of like a scraper cleaner. That's just to show you an example, because if you've got the exposed copper on the board like that, if you can clean it up properly, and again I'm going to have another go do it properly, but what you can do is then tin it. If it's nice and clean, you can tin it with solder like this, and then that will be a lot thicker, a lot more robust than just leaving it as bare copper. Although, don't do what I've just done and just do a very kind of cack-handed approach to tinning it. Right. So basically we've got this bit of a stumpy leg here where there was the old bit of resistor, which is about to go, and then we've got the other side. Now again, to do it properly and change this resistor, you're going to have to clean the whole board and put, of course, the through hole components in there, but I don't have time for that right now. And I don't even quite have the right values of resistors. What I do have is a 330 ohm resistor, well, two of them. So I'm going to put them in parallel for now, and that should give me about 160. I know we're looking for 180, but I feel it will be close enough. And as it's a temporary fix, I'm just going to have them sat here on this chip. So I'm just going to place it here. In fact, I could solder that. I was going to sort of side cutters though, but I might just solder them and then side cutter it afterwards. That'll be like my little piggyback. Again, it's just something I'm going to revisit, no doubt, on this computer, because I want to do a good job of it. It'd be nice to sort of clean it up fully. But again, it does never hurts to do things in stages, because you know why? You might take this apart, do this resistor fix, and then plug it all back in, and then you'll find, you know, we're trying to fix that keyboard, for example, and then you'll find that the keyboard is still duff, and then you've sort of taken it all apart, and you've not fixed anything yet. So we've cut those, get rid of those. Make sure you don't leave anything like that inside. That's going to be a problem for you if you do. Now we've got our second resistor, which I'm just going to solder in parallel with the other one. This is real professional like, and it's absolutely fine. You get a lot of people, I say me, I do get a lot of people sometimes criticising these sorts of techniques, but you know what, don't be so precious. I've been doing this for a long time, working with electronics, and you don't need to be so precious with a lot of things. Right, well, apart from if it's Sinclair things, because they certainly seem to complain a lot. So that's our resistor now replaced, and we'll just get our meter. Why don't we check that? Let's see what we've got, and we can compare it side by side. So we're reading 1 86 ohms, interestingly. Right. 86 ohms. 86 ohms. That's weird though. I thought I was reading these as a different value last time, wasn't I? Am I going mad? I thought these were 180. Anyway, it doesn't matter, they're all reading the same. Maybe this old bloody meter needs some batteries. Try one more time. Problem with these bloody things. Okay, whatever. They all seem to be the same now. Try to do one more as a sanity check. Yeah, go on. Better had. Let's have a look at this one in here. Well, that's clearly a different one, probably, from the look of it. 86. Yeah, okay, whatever. In circuit, they're all reading about the same. So we'll leave that in there. And let's just have one quick look. So I'll probably actually just put it all back together and try it at this point. But before then, let's just have a look at this keyboard. So it does have this sort of crustiness on here. You know, it does look like there's some sort of stuff spilt. But there's no circuits on the top. All the PCB circuitry is on here. And looking at all the screws are kind of far away from the edges of things, so it doesn't look like they'll be really affecting it too much. I'll wager I'll just put it back together and see what happens, really, just in case that solved it. So let's just do that. Again, this very rusty screw in here. I always imagine things like Commodore PETs would be really rusty inside because they had loads of metal on those things. I do have some chemicals that you use on cars and motorbikes for stopping rust spreading and cleaning it up. I might just treat these one day, take this all out, give it a clean up. So I have to connect, there's one connector here and then two here. That's basically you got your, I think one's your light, yeah, one's just the light from the power supply. So you've got the LED, connector 2, CN2, and then we've got the larger of the two keyboard connectors, and then we've got the smaller of the two keyboard connectors. Now, I'm going to show you the back because it did look like there were some interesting features on the back that have to be kind of aligned up to get all this to work properly. Yeah, certainly catches. There's a catch right here. This case looks slightly bent. That maybe someone's had a go in the past. I don't think it was my attempt did that. That's a disclaimer. Wasn't me. It wasn't me. Yeah. What a lovely power button. These are actually quite lovely keyboards. They really are. It feels like a really nice quality bit of kit, the old Fitbit. Hitbit. Crikey. The Sony Fitbit. That's what you want. So notice this number on the bottom here doesn't match what we had earlier inside as a sticker. Right, and that's it. Off to try it. I'll let you know how it works. Alas, that was not the fix. I don't know what I fixed there, but fixed something, clearly. So I'll have to experiment again with my Sony Hitbit. But for now, I shall leave it with you. Actually, just some of you super sleuths at home, you might be able to comment down below on what I did actually fix. But here, I did have a check. I think it was like the S key, X key, D key didn't work, and then one of the keys, B worked for sure. Space definitely doesn't work. So there seems to be maybe a smattering of some of the keys here. So if you've got any ideas, let me know. And if not, at some point in the future, I'm going to be popping the whole lid, taking the board out, and having a proper good rummage in there. As ever though, thanks for watching. Just a little follow-up. This is now working, but you will notice the keyboard looks a bit different. That's because I have a whole second Fitbit and a Fitbit, bloody Hitbit, what's wrong with me? And I took the keyboard off that one and it works fine. So the problem is something to do with this keyboard. So that'll be an adventure for another day, I think. But I'm just happy actually I've got, you know, a working Hitbit here. That does work pretty well. Just a quick comment on the keyboard. It is lovely. It works really well. It's actually one of the, you know, really nice, probably better than the BBC B really. But yeah, very good keyboard. Glad it's working. So now I've got to delve deep into the heart of the keyboard issue on the other keyboard. But interesting to wonder what that resistor did. Bye bye.